Hey guys, welcome to my channel! Today we're starting with a new series where I'll set off on a culinary journey around the world to find out which country has the healthiest national dish. The first culinary area we'll visit is English-speaking North America. And today we're having a closer look at the United States. Their national dish is easy to guess. It's burger with fries. First, we're going to make the dough for the buns. For that, mix the dry ingredients together, namely some flour, yeast, sugar and salt. Then mix some milk and water and heat it up in the microwave for a few seconds. And then dissolve some butter in it. Pour the mixture into the bowl with the dry ingredients and add 2 egg yolks. Now it's time to knead it all into a nice dough. First, stir it with a spoon into a shaggy dough. And then knead with your hands to achieve a cohesive dough. Form it into a ball. Cover it with plastic foil so the dough won't dry out. And let it rest for 1.5 hours in a warm place. When the dough has doubled in size, form 4 balls out of it. Place them on a baking sheet covered in baking paper and let them sit for another hour. Then coat the buns with milk and sesame seeds and bake them in a preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius until they take on a golden brown color. Before we tend to the rest of the burger ingredients, let's take a quick info break. The word hamburger has nothing to do with ham, but derives from the second largest city of Germany, Hamburg. The origins of the hamburger are not quite clear, but there are 2 likely possibilities. In the port of Hamburg there was a food stand which sold steak and ground beef patties in buns. Many immigrants who sailed from there ate at this food stand and might have brought the idea of this hamburger sandwich to North America. A second, in my opinion less likely possible origin is that before cattle farming was established in North America, beef was imported from Hamburg. It was a luxury good, and the word Hamburg was used to describe beef of high quality. Around the year 1900, the first hamburger was sold in the United States. Hamburgers were also sold at the World's Fair in St. Louis in 1904 and became quite popular through that. Only 20 years later, hamburgers ranked already as the 19th favorite food of the Americans. 15 years later, in 1940, the first McDonald's was opened, and when they introduced their speedy system and self-service, the hamburger and McDonald's began their triumph around the world. Today, hamburgers aren't just sold as fast food, but also in upscale restaurants. There is even a hamburger made with lobster and Kobe beef, which is sold for over $750. There are countless varieties of hamburgers today, with different kinds of meat, even patties made out of insects, or vegetarian burgers. There are also more unusual variations, like low-carb burgers, where there's no bun but 2 big leaves of lettuce, rice burgers, where the bun consists of rice, or ramen burgers, where the bun is switched for 2 discs of instant ramen noodles. Don't ask me how you can eat that without breaking out any teeth. Overall, there are no clearly defined ingredients for the hamburger as a national dish, so I'm showing you my favorite combination. And since fries are often served with hamburgers, I'll also take them into account when we analyze the nutritional value at the end of this video. But for now, let's return to the kitchen. Welcome back to the kitchen! Now we'll prepare the burger patty. Season the ground beef generously with some salt, pepper, and a tiny bit of garlic powder. Cover it with a lid and let it sit outside the fridge while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Cut and set them aside for later. Heat up a pan and then fry the onions in some butter at medium-low heat. When they have turned brown, add a splash of bourbon and cover it immediately with a lid. Let them steam for a few minutes until they are really soft. For the salad, we're going to make a special dressing. Some ketchup, mayonnaise, a few drops of the sauce, which name no one can pronounce, a bit of vinegar, as well as bourbon, and also a bit of chili powder. Mix everything well and then add in the salad. Now heat up a pan and in the meantime form the burger patties. Add some oil into the pan and a few seconds later the patty. Flip the patty and add 2 strips of bacon. While the meat is frying, cut some cheddar cheese and when the patty and the bacon look ready, remove the bacon and cover the patty with cheddar cheese. Let it melt and then it's time for the assembly. Cut the bun in half, place some salad on there, as well as the onions, a slice of tomato, and if you like them, some pickles. Then here comes the patty. Add the strips of bacon. And to finish it off, spread some barbecue sauce on the bun. Serve it with fries and enjoy this amazing and delicious soul food. Let's take a quick glance at the nutritional values of the United States national dish. It contains a giant number of calories, almost the recommended daily amount for women. And that in one single dish. My recipe for the onions and dressing of the salad contains alcohol, which is also listed here. But at least the alcohol in the onions should have evaporated, so the alcohol amount may be lower than shown here. The hamburger and fries deliver a lot of fat. It is more or less evenly distributed between saturated, mono and polyunsaturated fatty acids. The ratio between linoleic acid and linolenic acid is optimal at 5:1, which is the case here. So at least that is good news. But that's quickly shattered by the realization that this dish exceeds the recommended daily limit of cholesterol, which is set at 300 milligrams. When we look at the relative amounts of the recommended daily intake, we see that there is an explosion of nutrients happening. So at least for the most part, you don't have to be worried about nutrient deficiency. But let's have a closer look. The national dish of the United States delivers a lot of dietary fiber and protein. Because we used beef, there's also a lot of vitamin B12 present. Additionally, the hamburgers and fries contain a lot of vitamin K, sodium and chlorine. Since I intend to compare all of the national dishes of the world, I will break every one of them down to 1000 kilocalories. This way, it's easier to assess the nutrient density of the dishes. And 1000 kilocalories are a reasonable energy amount for a main dish. Now for the final review of the burger. The calories are definitely too much, with over 1900 for a single dish. Now to evaluating the nutrients. I assess the good nutrients as follows. If in the 1000 kilocalorie scenario they cover 50% or more of the daily recommendation, it's a plus. And if not, a minus. So the protein and vitamins get a plus, but dietary fiber and minerals a minus, which leaves us with a neutral assessment of 3 out of 5 points. As for regarding taste, I give this dish the full 5 points. It's just delicious tasting comfort food, so it definitely gets my stamp of approval. Since the taste doesn't count in our search of the healthiest national dish, the USA will unfortunately be colored in light red. And that's it for the first episode of this series. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next national dishes and other videos. See you!